Okay, we are back and better than ever. I don't know. So, shtickle trip to Florida, back in Brooklyn, heading to Fancy Five Towns, then Muncie for Shabbos. Hopefully, that's the plan. You never know. You never know. It's Thursday. I'm not sure what the day's gonna be tomorrow. Where I'll be traveling, what time, who knows. So, have a few minutes Thursday, and here we go. Um, so it's interesting parsha this week actually ties in the shtickle of Chagiga. We're learning Kini Masachta, some of the boys in Chabur in Eretz Yisrael. We're doing Chazar Perik. Second Perik, but it's interesting Gemara. It talks about Nidarim are Porchos Bavir. These Nidarim are hanging in the air. They're hanging Bavir in the sky. And the Gemara talks about what does this even mean? Well, because there's not too much in the Torah, and therefore all the halachos are not really concrete. They're Rabbanan come up with it. There's not really root in the Torah. And you move forward. Focus Pavir, as Gemara says in Daf Yud and Chagiga. So Gemara Shemesh brings this idea, this concept down of how interesting Nidarim is. Very strange thing that the tzaddik can get rid of it with this something called a petach harata. When a few months later, the guy says to the rabbi, "Oh my gosh, I never meant that I was almost hit by a car and I made a harata not to eat meat for the whole year, and after 2 months." I can't take it anymore. So the rabbi says, well, if you would have known how difficult it was, would you have done this? And the guy says, no. Okay, harata, it's gone. So what's this idea of peter harata that the rabbis could do it? Also, Dabar Moshe, Rosham Matos. What happened to Dabar Hashem Moshe Lamar? Dabar Hashem Moshe? Speak to the Bnei Israel. It's a little strange how this sets up. And it's also a concept at the end of the parsha that's kashur, I think. We'll see in a second. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. That or in Miklat. Person goes to the city of Levium. Why the city of Levium? What's the purpose of this? If he's a killer, maybe he should go to jail. If he's not a killer, it was just an accident, maybe he shouldn't go to jail until the Kohen dies. What's this whole situation going on here? So, Rosh Hashanah has an idea. Is that people make Nadarim many times when there's a sakana, a huge tzarech of sakana, someone's not well. Someone is very sick, and he says, "Oh, if my brother, my sister, they get better, yeah, I'll do this. I'll do a takana. I'll put tzitzis on every day, and I'll go to shul on time." You make a neder, and unfortunately, we think this is the best thing to do. And the Marv Shem says this is really doesn't really not really helpful. um, the real way to respond to something that bad happens to you is to look inside, introspection. You know, our Chaim goes so far to say, if you hurt your foot, you must have been running for an Avera. If your stomach hurts, you must have been eating something, the bracha. Really meet a connected meet stuff. But you don't have to say that 100%, maybe, but you got to look inside. If the reason why you're losing your job, reason why the car keeps getting smashed, um, the car's not sinning. It's you. It's something you got to work on. Each person's on this planet to work on their thing. The thing that they're here for. Everyone knows what their strengths is, their weaknesses. We're here to fix these things up, and that's what really get these punishments, perhaps, to kind of refocus us. So someone that says someone gets hit by a car, and okay, I'm not going to eat meat. It's not kosher. It's great. You may want to make an edit. That's fantastic, but it's not really the main thing. The main thing is after a month or two, you come to realize when you speak to the tzaddik and you get inspiration from the tzaddik and see how careful the tzaddik is with his midos and he's doing tshuva, you come to realize after 2 months that it was a bad idea. That making a neder on yourself of not eating meat or something else is not really what you're there for. Not really the tshuva. The real tshuva is tshuva. Not to take a neder that's not really kosher to what happened. So that's the first idea that the Marva Shenders has. And this we says parchas bavir, meaning the same lashon. Lo yachal dvaro. Don't make it profane. Use this by Moshe. We get this idea from Moshe because Moshe was pleading to save Bnei Israel. Hashem says, "Hanichali, leave me." Moshe doesn't, and Hashem goes against it. The Medrash says that Hashem made a gzera, and Moshe was mavatalit. Moshe was parchas ba'avir. Literally, he was on top of the avir. He was able to. A tzaddik has the ability to be mavatal gzeras from Hashem. Hashem made a gzera. Jewish people should be destroyed after the maasei, and Moshe got rid of this. So this idea, this concept that a tzaddik can go over a gzer from Hashem, that's a Moshe idea. And that's why we say parchas ba'avir. It's actually hanging on the air because this is something that's beyond Hashem, which is wild to say. And this is Marva Shemer said, and that's why it's Vadar Moshe Rosh Matos. This is the idea that Moshe had. This wasn't something that's in the Torah. This wasn't something that's so obvious. Tzaddik can get rid of your neder. He can give you because you regret it. A tzaddik can do this. This is a Moshe concept, and that's why it's Vadar Moshe Rosh Matos. Very interesting. The other idea towards the end of the parsha is Ari Miklat. Ari Miklat, they run, the Kohen dies. But before that, someone kills B'Shogeg, and he runs to Ari Miklat, 642. The 6, you live for free. 42, you have to pay rent. What's the purpose of going to Ari Miklat? There's other place to go to a fortified city, protect yourself from Goel Hadam, from the Avenger. So Marva Shemer says a person's killing someone. It's not an accident. There's little things that got you along that way, little things that you've done that get you to the purpose that could have such indifference to life that you could actually kill someone. B'Shogeg, for you to not to be callous and to kind of walk around with your hatchet or take shooting practice in the woods and not care and shoot someone, that's not just you wake up one day, it happens. Those are steps that took place to get to that place. There's a root of jealousy, there's a root of hatred, not caring. Maybe you steal from someone, you don't care about his property. Maybe you don't care about him. Maybe one day you hit his car. Little things until Avera Guerreros Avera, all these things happen, and Hashem puts it that you kill someone, Shogeg. The Torah calls him a killer. The Torah calls him a killer. It's an accident. Yeah, it was an accident, but to get to that point, a lot of little things had to happen. And just like you go to the tzaddik to make you realize to do tshuva, here also, you go to the tzaddik, you go to the Levi, the city Levium, and the Levium is supposed to inspire you because you see a tzaddik that does tshuva over something small, that's supposed to trigger something. Oh my gosh, I really should have done tshuva and thought about my actions before it escalated to doing that. My gosh, the tzaddik is so careful about something. He steals a penny or he ate something, he steals Wi-Fi, and he feels bad. My gosh, I should really think about tshuva before it gets out of hand. Before Avera Gers Avera, right? The first thing that goes south, I should really do tshuva like the rabbi, like the Levian. And that's the idea we're supposed to go through. And that's why Marva Shemer says, when this fellow leaves the Ar Miklat, the guy's allowed to kill him. The Goel Adam's allowed to kill him. Why is that? Because when he goes to Ari Miklat, and then he sees there's no Goel Hadam, and he runs out to get a cheeseburger or go to the Mecca or something, it shows he didn't really go to do tshuva. He really go because he's scared of the Goel Adam. The Goel Adam is not there. Let me go out for a few minutes. Let me go out to see my family. Let me go see the Mets or something. That shows he really didn't come for tshuva. And the only way we can come to certainty that there's a tshuva takes place is when the Kohen dies. Because the Kohen is a kapara for the people. A Kohen's tied to the people. A Kohen inspires the people. And the Kohen davens for the people. And when the Kohen leaves the world, he's mechaper for the people. And this is a proof that either he did tshuva or it was a kapara done for him on behalf of the Kohen Gadol. And this is the idea that Marva Shemesh has. He wants to tie the ideas of neder, being sincere about tshuva, looking at the signs, not letting things get worse and worse and worse. There's actually an interesting story years back. Rabbi Leff was commenting about some of the Chabad people. They're into mishachists, and he doesn't care for this. Most people don't. And someone told the Chabad person said, well, if Rabbi Leff said this, you should take his tefillin because something's wrong with him. Rabbi Leff heard about this. Rabbi Leff's like, you want to say I'm a disaster? That's fine. What did my tefillin do? You want to comment on my tefillin? My tefillin is sitting there. Say, I'm terrible. And that's the idea, really. Sometimes something bad happens. We point to the mezuzah, check your tefillin, check the mezuzah. Not gonna have meat for a week. Maybe Xera of whatever. Even coming to shul on time. Good to come to shul on time. But something bad happens. You really just can't just pick nidarim, pick vows to do, pick things that may sound interesting. Okay, no internet for a week. Things that are really kosher to look at your actions, and that's a real tshuva. That's really what we're supposed to do here. And with that, Shabbat Shalom.